So there's the two shot of us. See, you can look at that.
Yeah, but it's gonna go away.
Oh, too bright
Go.
this one. Okay.
3, 2, 1, go.
Greetings, comrades, and welcome to a very special episode of the Recovering English Teacher. My name is Clement, and I'm your Recovering English Teacher. With me here today is my daughter, Angelina. Say hi to the camera, Angelina.
Hello.
She used to do what I tell her, so it's nice that she's humoring me at this point. This is a special edition because Angelina is home for the holidays, and one of the things that was very important to me in the classroom and in my life is music. And so for this project that I'm doing for a class I'm taking, we're supposed to be doing a live stream, so this is going to be very live. Thank you for giving me that noun.
It's a verb.
It's a verb. It's an adjective. It's going to be live. Live.
Okay,
Yeah, it's an adjective. Okay, so we're going to talk actually about Joni Mitchell, the music of Joni Mitchell.
The poetry.
And the poetry of Joni Mitchell. Thank you for interrupting me on this introduction. I thought I made it clear to you that one of the things that was necessary for this live stream was that we had an introduction that kind of set up everything.
Stop.
Yeah. No, you just keep being yourself because...
You edit that out.
No, we're not going to edit. This is live. Once again, the purpose of the Recovering English Teacher is to give me a forum to help me through my retirement. I'm trying to recover from being an English teacher, but I'm also trying to recover the things that I did as an English teacher. Is that, what kind of face is that you have?
Can't tell where you're looking. That's what I think.
Oh, that's because these glasses are to keep me kind of incognito. I'm wearing an outfit that I used to wear every Friday at the school where I taught. Was School Colors Day, and orange and blue were our school colors. So I wore this jumpsuit, which the students thought made me look like a prisoner. And so I would often say to them, well, doesn't school feel like a prison to you? But when administrators would call me on that, I would say, no, I'm actually like a car mechanic, because as an English teacher, I lift up the hood of students' essays and I get under there and I tinker with them. That would be a good opportunity for you to give me a smiley reaction.
You'll just keep on yourself.
Okay. So we're trying to do a 2-camera setup, so I thought I just did the introductory part here with the camera focused on me. So now I'm going to move it to focus in on Angelina for the rest of the interview. So
You're explaining
this will
that?
just take a second. Oh yeah, there is no pretense here.
Okay.
On the
Make it
Recovering
going.
English
You don't have
Teacher.
to switch the camera because it's already on.
But I want this one on you, so we're going to just do this over here. Why don't you just talk to the camera for a little bit while I move this?
Why? I don't know. What
Just
you
to
say.
talk about who you are, what you're doing here.
You did that for me.
Oh, good Lord. How are we doing here? Well, that's not bad. You're so pretty. I'm talking to you, yeah. Okay, that's good framing there. Maybe just get you a little bit higher there.
It's not the 70s.
Good answer. Okay, so how's that look for you?
I'm upside down. You got the door, but like it's good.
Okay. Should I move it then to get less door? Oh, that's kind of nice because that's mostly Joni there. I still think you should be a little bit higher.
Like this. Oh.
If I just move you in a little bit like that, that makes you lower. Yeah, I know what I'm doing here. Oh, is it really hot there?
No. I'm trying to smell this.
What's up with you and smelling things? Okay. Hey, we're back live.
No, you should start over. I was scratching my head. Hey, we're back live.
Hey, we're back live. So, why Joni Mitchell?
That's not what I had prepared.
Oh, okay. What did you prepare?
I don't know.
So let me
Not
say
that.
this, that when I was growing up, music was very important to me. And I was mostly into rock and roll, and I was a sucker for a good kind of trippy guitar solo because it was the 70s. And
You should look a dollar bill there.
I was fascinated with music of the 60s, but as I got into high school, I started to
How old
explore.
are you?
I'm 61, thank you. How old are you?
25.
Wow, you look great for your age. And so when I was in high school, I started to explore the history of rock and roll. And when I was looking at the history of rock and roll, singer-songwriters in the 70s was a genre that I started to explore, and I would do reading about, you know, who produced the most important albums, and Joni Mitchell's Blue immediately leapt to the forefront. And so I purchased Blue, and as a result of that, I also picked up Court and Spark, Hissing of Summer Lawns, Hejira, Don Juan's Reckless Daughter. Are those the 5 that I gave you?
Mm-hmm. Well, what about not Song to a Seagull or Clouds?
You know,
or For the Roses?
That's interesting that you should say that, because I started at Blue, and because...
And you skipped For the Roses.
Well, which would have come right after Blue.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I did. But because Court and Spark was also an album that got a lot of press. And then at that point in time, I was purchasing albums that she was releasing.
Active.
Yeah, right. Contemporaneously.
Are you dubbing? Is it a bit dubbing there?
We're not leaving without the girl. So that's when I got the Hissing of Summer Lawns, and it just like kind of floored me, the Hissing of Summer Lawns. And also Hejira was, I want to say that Hejira was an album that initially got me interested into jazz because of her backup band, and Jaco Pastorius on the fretless bass was I was upright, but it should have been.
But he was on Court and Spark too.
He is
in
on
the live tour of Court and Spark.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, but he's also on. I want to say he's on Hissing of Summer Lawns. Has a jazzy feel to it too. Yeah, and I remember once I was in my favorite head shop in the 70s. Head shop was you couldn't buy
heads.
Heads were illegal to purchase in the 70s, but now many states
scalps no, but heads
allow the sale of heads
What is a head?
for medicinal and recreational purposes. But a head shop would sell you paraphernalia to feed your head. And
you're gonna put this on the internet?
Yeah. No?
No.
So here's what I wanted to say is that I was in there and I was gonna pick up.
You were in a record store and you were gonna buy.
Well, it was a record store, but record stores also would carry other things too. And so, here's what I'm trying to say: Don Juan's Reckless Daughter was released,
and it's orange and blue.
It's orange and blue, orange and blue, and rather than purchase the item that I went into the shop to purchase, I purchased Don Juan's Reckless Daughter.
You didn't have enough money for both?
No, I did not. No, I did not have enough money for both, and I did not regret that purchase. So, and one of the things as a father, I consciously did when you were growing up was try to turn you on to things that I loved, which of course, you know, as any good child would do, you rejected. But eventually you found Joni Mitchell. So what was the hook for you? How did you get into Joni Mitchell?
I have no idea. The first Joni Mitchell song I heard that I knew I was listening to Joni Mitchell was All I Want. And there was the introduction. I didn't know what a dulcimer was. And you hear it, and I had no idea what was going on, and I just wanted to know how to play that.
Nice. And where did you first hear that song?
In the car, on my phone.
Oh, nice. And did it come like a recommended
playlist? No, I was
playlist?
listening to Joni Mitchell because you told me to listen to Joni Mitchell.
No way.
Yeah.
This is why I'm wearing glasses. You listened to something that I suggested you should listen to?
That's definitely not a -6.
Okay. We got to watch the volume here on the microphone. We can play with that in post-production.
Oh, nice.
So tell me a little bit about your attraction to All I Want? Because yesterday, this is a different sweater, right? Yeah. Yesterday we went through and we recorded you playing some Joni Mitchell songs, and that was the first one you actually played. So why don't you talk about the importance of that song, or some of the things that attracted you to that song?
I don't know. I was talking to someone the other day about how Taylor Swift has been re-releasing all of her albums, and I was talking to someone the other day about how I used to.
I read that.
About how I used to listen to Taylor Swift like I listened to Joni Mitchell, and in the sense that like I would only listen to her. And someone was like, "Oh, that makes total sense to me because they're both such storytellers in their songs." And at the beginning of the pandemic, I purchased a dulcimer because I had wanted to learn All I Want. I don't know. There's just something about the drone string and everything going on, and the rhythm and the melody and the way she throws her voice that was amazing.
What can you tell for people who don't know? Because I'm certainly not one of those. I know what I'm talking about. What's a drone string?
On the dulcimer, you have 4 strings, but 2 of them are together, so you have like 3 strings basically. And in All I Want, it's the middle string that you never touch, and she constantly strings. So that string is always producing sound at a G sharp.
It's kind of droning on and on and on.
Yeah.
That's interesting because that's something that my students often said. You're droning, Mr. Shane. Oh, didn't want to give my name. You're droning, Mr. Did you just say what the fuck? We're gonna have to cut that out in post-production. No, we're not.
It was not a negative.
Let's do it in the same time. 1, 2, 3. Fuck! Wow. 1, 2, 3.
We're cutting that out.
Okay. So maybe we should roll that clip of
Sounds
All
good.
I Want.
Roll the clip.
Roll the clip.
Traveling, looking for something. What
Wow. That was amazing.
Thank you.
Did you want to say anything about your performance?
Good. What do I have to say?
I don't know. Just how it felt to perform live in front of some cameras. You don't remember? Wow. Wow, you are my daughter. I have some memory problems. So,
I don't know, what do you want me to say?
I don't want you to say anything other than what is in your heart. Talk to us about what's on your heart right now.
Again.
Really?
No, I mean, what do you want me to say about the song?
I want you to say what's on your heart right now. It's okay. No one's going to see this.
Just keep going.
Okay. We have no viewers. There's no subscribers. No one's going to ever watch this.
You're not Glenn.
No, I'm not Glenn. By the way, shout out to Glenn.
No,
Glenn!
You're not putting that in there.
So I do want to say that All I Want is a song that I did experience you performing live in church. I wanted to drive up and see you, but that's another story for another episode.
Yeah, I was surprised they let me play that in church.
Yeah, it was music that you played before the service actually started.
Correct.
Kind of like
the prelude.
Prelude, that's the word I was looking for. That's a noun. The prelude. So why were you surprised that they let you play that in church? What is there about its secular quality that...
It just doesn't seem very church-like, very religious. All I really want... I mean, I don't know exactly who she's singing about.
Singing about him, whom?
Yeah, I don't know exactly whom she's singing about,
right.
But it's definitely not anything church-related.
But there is kind of a spiritual quality to all of Joni's songs, I would say, but
sure.
That song for sure too, right?
I mean definitely.
She definitely seems to be seeking. It's interesting that you earlier when you were interrupting me on the introduction, you talked about thank you. That was a good reaction shot for that camera. You talked about Joni as a poet, and I remember when Bob Dylan won the Nobel Prize for his poetry, my first thought was...
Where's Joni?
Well, my first thought was Joni Mitchell better be next. Because I think that, if you go head for head, song for song, I think they're at least equals. I would say that Joni's a better lyricist. That's a personal opinion, but I could see why Bob Dylan would win it because of just the sheer volume of his work. I mean, he's still producing, and he started earlier than she did. But and it's not to denigrate Dylan's abilities as a lyricist, but rather just to really
just don't think twice about it.
Nice, it's all right. Wow, that was good. Did you know that's a Dylan song?
Yes.
Okay, sorry.
I just said it if I didn't.
Yeah, that's true. That would have been just too serendipitous.
Exactly. Okay.
Okay, so and what's the next song you'd like to talk about?
Well, I mean, this was not really what I was thinking, but if we're talking about her lyrics as a poet, I think my second favorite lyric of hers is From a Case of You, which I think is one of her most beautiful songs ever. That introduction on the dulcimer.
And so, if we suddenly lose power, it's because Angelina's cat is chewing the cord. One of Angelina's cats. What's this cat's name, by the way?
Emily Elizabeth Kittenson.
Huh. What a nice literary
Another
reference.
poet.
Another poet, yes. Emily Kittenson or Emily Dickinson?
Both.
Huh. I've not read any of your cat's poetry. Although I did step in some. One of her more recent products this morning.
Okay.
Yeah. So A Case of You. Another artist that I tried to turn you on to, and you may eventually start listening to some of his work, Prince, who hails from Minneapolis, Minnesota. Prince adored Joni Mitchell. He thought she was...
I listened to that one song.
Yeah, Prince has done a cover of A Case of You. So what is there about A Case of You lyrically? I mean, you were kind of riffing on the whole idea of her as a poet. What is there about A Case of You lyrically that attracted you?
Well, there's just my second favorite line in all of her discography or song, whatever.
How about oeuvre?
And my favorite line in her
Can you say oeuvre?
Of songs is I remember that time you told me love is touching souls. How did it go? Okay, my favorite line in all of her oeuvre is from, or my second favorite line in all of her oeuvre is from A Case of You, where she says, I remember that time you told me, love is touching souls. Surely you've touched mine. A part of you pours out of me in these lines from time to time. Which is interesting because she just, when she re-released Blue for the 50th anniversary in 2021, not in that collection, it was in the Archives #1, it was actually Blue 50, it was completely separate, but it was at the same time. That was one of the differences, actually, in A Case of You. She had said, part of you, or what did she say? She said, I remember that time you told me love is touching souls. Surely you touch mine. Part of you pours out of me in black and white designs. And I think that in these lines from time to time is a better change. But that's A Case of You. That's not the original version. That's not the demo that came out with Blue 50. Some of her original lyrics I actually like better, but that change I like what she had chosen.
Yeah. That's one of the beautiful things I think about studying literature. Is to go back and look at the earlier drafts and to see the conscious artistic choices that creators, artists make, and that just really that's one of those things I think that makes me really appreciate and admire Joni's craftswomanship.
Yeah, well, should we listen to that one?
Yeah, let's roll that tape.
Just before our love got lost, you said, I am
So, what did you think about that performance? I don't know what happened yesterday.
I mean, that song is a really hard one to play. You know, the introduction is so beautiful, you get lost in it, and she throws her voice and does these weird scaling things, and that one's a hard one to sing.
You know, I'm for a little bit of my life I worked on ventriloquism. I had a little Danny O'Day dummy, and so every time you say, yeah, I do. Every time you say Joni Mitchell throws her voice, I think of ventriloquism. You know, when you're trying to throw your voice and
that's
make
exactly
it seem...
what she does.
Does it?
No.
What do you mean by that?
I just mean she throws it into her upper register.
Oh, okay.
Into her falsetto or her head voice.
Okay. Now that's interesting. That's an interesting way to put it. I like that. That helps me to understand what you're talking about. You know, before we rolled that
clip
of you,
us me
like
playing
a case
live.
of you, live yesterday, because we're being live today, which you're not going to see till tomorrow. There was a voice in my head saying, she's begging me to ask this question. And so I wanted to make sure that I didn't forget. And the fact that I haven't forgotten is really something that I wanted to have recorded for posterity here on the camera. What is your favorite Joni Mitchell lyric? Because you said it's yourself.
I mean, I don't know. In the last time I saw Richard, she says, wait, hold on. I can't do it without singing, you know what I mean?
Please sing. Why don't you sing for us right now a cappella?
Oh, so my favorite line in Joni Mitchell's oeuvre comes from the last time I saw Richard, and she says, "You've got tombs in your eyes, but the songs you punched are dreams." I think that's my favorite lyric in all of her.
Yeah, it's a great
songs.
Imagery there, the poetry of Joni Mitchell. And again, it's interesting that those two favorite lyrics of yours come from, and the song that initially attracted you to Joni Mitchell, all come from this pivotal, important album, Blue. I forget. We'll edit it into the through post-production. We'll tell you what it is, but I know that Joni Mitchell's Blue is on Rolling Stone's list of top albums of all time, and it makes the top 10.
Yeah.
For you, it would probably be
number one.
That's your favorite Joni Mitchell album?
Yeah.
Nice. So those are the two dulcimer songs that you play.
We had one more.
Well, we had the earlier version.
We had Carrie.
Oh, Carrie.
Get out your cane.
I'll put on some silver.
No, I think I will do that.
Oh, I'm a mean old daddy, but you think...
But I like you.
Okay, nice. Did you want to talk about Carrie now, or did you want to go into a guitar song?
Carrie,
okay,
yeah.
so let's talk about Carrie. You don't really know what to say?
No. Carrie is just one of the dulcimer songs, you know? And,
Can I interrupt you? I just did. So the answer is yes. And I probably should have said May, because I always can.
Elaine. Anyway. Okay.
So how many dulcimer songs of Joni Mitchell's are there?
There are 4 on Blue.
Okay. And that's it? Is that the only time that she played the dulcimer?
In her studio albums discography, I think there's in the archive some of the never before released ones have dulcimer, but those are the 4 that are on Blue and in her studio albums.
Yeah, and do you know the story as to why those dulcimer
Yeah, when she
songs?
was writing Blue, she was traveling a lot in Greece and just all over Europe really, and it was kind of difficult for her to be bringing her guitar everywhere, so she had this mountain dulcimer that was made for her. There's actually on the first archives there's a little thing on one of the archives there's a story that she tells about like the woman who made the dulcimer for her. I think it actually is on this one. It's called This Is a Mountain Dulcimer. Anyway, so she brought this dulcimer everywhere because it was easier for her to travel with, and so that kind of informed Blue. It wasn't like a conscious decision, it was just what was easier for her. And Carrie comes about this man she met in Greece and spent a good amount of time with, and actually he shows up in California too, which is another one of her dulcimer songs, but we didn't play that.
No. See, and again, that's just as given the fact that the name of this channel is the Recovering English Teacher, that's just really interesting to me from a research perspective, and the idea of when you really get kind of hooked by a piece of literature, enthralled by a piece of literature, it's something that I think naturally occurs. You want to learn more about it, you know, how it came to be, and learning the backstory of authors and the works that they produced. It really kind of makes those works come alive. Nice. Yeah. So yeah, Carrie.
Should we listen to it?
Yeah, let's roll that one. Go for it. So what'd you think about that performance from yesterday, tomorrow?
Yeah, it took a few times. You know, it's funny, Joni Mitchell played that one when right after Hejira came out in concert, and she was live in London and told the people, you know, oh, I haven't played this in a while, so please sing with me and drown me out. And she messed up a lot too, but we got it.
We did, and what's really interesting is that all of the clips that you're watching, Angelina nailed on the very first take. We'll roll the outtakes when we show the credits. Having just made that little attempt at a joke, I want to say that I was surprised by how few takes it took. I mean, some of those you really did in one take. Most of them you did in one take.
Well, Carrie messes me up because there's Miles of Isles, the live one. Carrie, I love that version of Carrie better, but you can't do it with the dulcimer. So I get thrown off because the rhythm is so different and the key and everything.
Nice. Wow, see, again, this is, just given the whole Recovering English Teacher orientation of this, that is really interesting to me too, and it just shows your passion for Joni Mitchell, and you're really kind of delving into all the iterations of her work, and the way that when a song is performed live, it can really be transformative. Mm-hmm. Hey, I feel as if I kind of denigrated Dylan earlier, and I don't want to make that. I don't want to have that. I don't want anybody to have that opinion that I think don't think highly of Bob Dylan, but Dylan live is just to listen to the way he transforms his songs. I would say that nobody does it better than Dylan. Just kind of flipping the script on a song. I saw Dylan live at the Park West, and I think the song, whatever song he was playing, it was, I don't remember what song it was. It was one of those concert experiences. But it was about 2 minutes into the song before I realized, oh my Lord, he's playing, whatever, Idiot Wind or something. Okay, so what's the next Joni song you'd like to talk about?
I thought we've done all the dulcimer ones that are regular.
Did you want to talk about
no? I recently purchased a guitar because the dulcimer is kind of limiting with Joni Mitchell only has 4, and also just there's not a lot of music for it. It's a lot of folk thing songs that I wasn't really interested in playing. So I purchased a guitar to keep getting to learn more. And when I first bought the guitar, the first song I learned to play was Coyote from Hejira.
No regrets about
no regrets.
What was there about that song that attracted you to it?
I really liked that song. I mean, I at the time I was like listening to that all the time, but I still really like it. And Joni Mitchell tunes her guitar in weird ways, and that one was like a particularly not too difficult guitar wise to learn.
That's I don't know how this is happening because this is really all happening live. But there's that great clip from the footage of the Rolling Thunder review, Bob Dylan on tour, and Joni Mitchell comes to visit, and she has just written.
She wrote this song
Coyote.
on this tour, about this tour, and for this tour.
Right, and so she's playing it with Dylan, and is it maybe Roger McGuinn?
I don't know.
I
There's
forget
a
who
few
else
people.
is there. Yeah, we'll put a link to that down in the comments section if such a thing is going to exist. Emily, wow, we'll have to edit that out. There was a little flash there. Emily flashed her.
Okay, keep going.
But again, it's just I think that's the fact that, and watching those fellow musicians not only interact with Joni, but just
love.
Yeah.
Crap.
Show their love for her, and their amazement at her artistry. It's really apparent in that clip. I get goosebumps thinking about it. And I think I said to you that when I first moved out of my parents' home to go away to school.
When you were like 30?
When I was... That's not true. I was my sophomore year of college. I went to a commuter college. So the first year of college I stayed home, and then it wasn't really working out. So I flew the coop sophomore year. Still went to the same college, but lived in a dorm. But so I could only bring a small number of albums, but Hejira was one that I brought. And I even showed you, it was a dorm that was, it was the Herman Crown Center, which was part of Roosevelt University. And so the dorm was rented out to students from all sorts of different colleges. And there were some art students who lived on the floor where I lived. And so one of them got me a sketchbook, and I started drawing pictures. And so I drew a picture of the album cover of Hejira.
Wait. Movie recording has been stopped automatically.
Oh, nice.
Just on that one. No, that one's good.
Filming.
Yeah.
Recording.
I once loved a woman, a child, I am told, like runs Pulitzer Prize.
Okay. So, what were we talking about?
Continuity right here. Okay. Yeah, so I think we should just roll Coyote.
Yeah, let's roll Coyote.
Brushing out a rudeness.
No regrets, Coyote.
We just come from such differences of circumstance.
You're up. I'm up all night in the studio.
And you're up early on your ranch.
Yeah. Great metaphor there for that whole song, right? Speaking of recovering English teacher, right? That this guy is this coyote. Let me ask you this, because this is something that kind of threw me for a loop as your father. How did it feel to sing that song about, a lover and...
It's a Joni Mitchell song.
So I mean, when you're singing the song, do you try to adopt the persona of the... No.
Just play Joni Mitchell.
Are you trying to channel Joni Mitchell? I mean, are you trying to...
No, I don't know.
Are you trying to imitate what you hear her doing?
Yeah, I think I have her. I know her, how she sings it.
Yeah, the cadence and everything, and the
yeah, but that one I know her cadence, but I mix up her cadence in Hejira and in the live version. I think that one's from her second live album. I don't remember what it's called.
Yeah, we should look that up, or we'll just put that as a graphic right in between us.
The black one, yeah. She's wearing red. Yeah,
that's a good one. Yeah, Hejira. What actually does Hejira mean? Do you know?
Isn't it the trip Muhammad takes? Like it's like this religious journey, and she was driving a lot through the deserts. At that time she was traveling, but like all by car, and so she was saying she was taking her own kind of Hejira.
Nice. That's again, as a recovering English teacher, I would oftentimes play music in the classroom to illustrate works of literature that we were studying, or terms, and allusions was one that when I used to teach. Yeah, Allusion, allusions. Sorry, it must be the echo in this rum. In this rum. I want to say that it's Amelia, right?
Right.
Icarus, like Icarus ascending on beautiful, foolish arms. I would play that when we studied
the whole
Greek
song.
mythology. Yeah, because and I suppose and the poetry of that song too. It's just, but that idea of just that one line, like Icarus ascending on beautiful, foolish arms, captures. I wish you could see. I'm just one big goosebump. Captures for me the essence of that Icarus myth. You know, that
for sure.
The beauty and the foolishness of youth, and this idea that I've been told not to fly to the sun, but I can do this, man. Not a problem. Okay, so what's the next song that you think we should roll?
we were going to go through a bunch of, we were talking about how her tunings are so different and weird. And so a lot of the songs, like for example, Coyote, there are only 2 songs in that tuning. But one tuning that she has a good number of songs in is open D. And so there are 5 songs in that tuning, 4 of which we played yesterday.
Tomorrow. Where's Tomorrow today, by the way?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Never figured that one out.
I think we're actually already there.
Cool.
Nice. So what's the next song in... Did you say open D?
Yeah, so I guess in open D, we can go fret by fret. So when we're barring the first fret, we get You Turn Me On, I'm a Radio, which is from For the Roses, which you never purchased, which is my current favorite album of hers.
I would like to just interrupt you once again and say that I did purchase For the Roses,
just
but
not
I
at the
purchased
time.
it for you.
Thanks.
As a gift.
Because it's my favorite right now. But yeah, so we can start with You Turn Me On, I'm a Radio.
Nice. Which reminds me of another song that was important to me when I was going to high school, You Burn Me Up, I'm a Cigarette.
Yeah, funny. Let's roll a clip.
Yeah, let's roll that.
Yeah?
Yes.
Darling, the number was down above you. Oh, honey, you turn me on.
Great performance.
Thanks.
Amazing. I like the way you sang that a little bit corny.
Well, I sing corny regulars. I'm a wildwood flower.
Wildwood flower,
Yeah.
but it was a little bit
Corny.
Yeah, nice. So what is there about that song that you like?
It's an easy one to play. It's an open D. I just learned all the open Ds, except for one.
Do you, for people who don't understand, and I will admit that I will be one of those right now, what the hell are you talking about? Open
So
Ds
Joni Mitchell has a lot of weird tunings.
What do you mean
that
by
are
that,
like
weird?
so a guitar has a tuning. I actually don't know what it is because I play Joni Mitchell, and off the top of my head. And there are a few. There's like open D, open G, just like different ways to tune the strings to make different sounds. But if you go on her website, you can find like the transcripts or tabs of all of her songs, most of them, and if you can sort it by tuning, and there's like over 50 tunings. So she does these weird things that are like Joni tunings. And people will pick up, like famous musicians will pick up her guitar and be like, I can't play this, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so Coyote is one that she like made up, but Open D, she didn't make up, but she started by using some of these like other tunings that were known. And in Open D, the nice thing about that is she's had like some issues with her fingers. Mm. And so when you have open tunings, you can do a lot of bar chords, which were easier for her to do. Mm. So.
What kind of issues did she, like arthritis?
I think so.
Yeah. Mm.
I'm not sure though, so I didn't say it.
Oh, oops. That's water, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, because you know that I'm more than just a recovering English teacher.
Yeah, but we are cutting this out.
Oh, we're not going to talk about
anyway.
other things in recovery.
So yeah, so that was You Turn Me On Radio, and you're barring the first fret in open D, and if you move it up one, you get Big Yellow Taxi.
Ah, classic. Big Yellow Taxi, yeah. But just before we go on to roll the clip of Big Yellow Taxi, I just want to say just another nice poetic device. The title of the song, You Turn Me On, I'm a Radio. Right, great metaphor there. Okay, hey, let's roll that Big Yellow Taxi. Maybe Joni Mitchell's most famous song, don't you think?
Definitely in the top 3.
Yeah.
If not number 1.
Yeah. I don't know that I would say that it's my favorite Joni Mitchell song.
No,
or
but
it's her
it's
best
iconic.
Song. But yeah. Ooh. Nice. It is iconic. Any stories that you want to relate to about Big Yellow Taxi?
No, I think no.
It speaks for itself. Yeah.
I don't know. Do you have anything?
It seems I guess listening to you play that yesterday and then just re-experiencing it as we rolled this clip today, and talking about it here tomorrow. Yeah. I think it saddens me a little bit that here's this song from, when was that song written? Like 67, 68, yeah. That here's this song that still is prescient. What a prescient song it was, and it's still,
For sure.
it still resonates right now, right here, and it's sad to me as a guy who's approaching, reintegration with eternity. It's sad to me how little we've learned about what we're doing to the planet.
For sure.
And it's, as a father, it especially saddens me, that one of those things is that, my generation inherited the earth, from previous generations, and we should have given it to the next generation in better shape than it was when we got it, and we knew better.
Joni sure did.
Yeah, she really did. So, is there another open D song that you want?
So the next, moving up the frets, if you're by the fourth, you get from Clouds, Both Sides Now. Another really well-known Joni.
Yeah, right. That's something that's really interesting to me, is that those songs that we seem to associate with Joni happen early in her career, and yet she was producing brilliant stuff throughout.
Right.
And so, anything you want to say about Clouds before we roll that one? Before we roll it, let me ask you this. And I ask you this because I adore the Tom Rush album, The Circle Game, and he covers, I think, maybe 4 Joni Mitchell songs on that album, and there are a number of covers, one very famous, of Both Sides Now. Do you like the cover version of Both Sides Now, or do you prefer Joni?
I prefer Joni's, but I do love, what's that
Judy?
album
Is
that
it Judy
she,
Collins?
no, I love Joni. What's that album that she released, where it's the picture of her with a cigarette? And I think she sings At Last, or you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do.
Where she revisits a lot of her songs in her current vocal state.
Yeah.
And
It's a live album, isn't it?
Yeah, but I love that version of Both Sides Now.
Yeah.
It's much slower and it's somber.
It really is. It really is somber. And that's one of the... I think I have 3 Joni Mitchell albums in surround sound. And that's the only one I have a physical copy of. The other ones are
illegal.
Flax.
That's the only one you have a physical copy of. Wow.
Yes. As a matter of fact, I have a second copy of it that I was going to give to you because I just assumed that you would follow my surround sound.
Yeah, well, I think we should just roll it.
Let's roll
not
that
surround.
Clip. No. What is the name of that album? And I want to run upstairs and see if I can beat you to finding it. Joni Mitchell.
The album is called Both Sides Now. 2000.
Unbelievable. Oh, the album, we just looked it up. The album is called Both Sides. You probably actually saw that because I'm not going to edit any of this. It's supposed to be live, so we're just going to go through and show you.
Anyway, yeah. So Emily.
What I think is something that popped into my head when you were talking about that album, because you mentioned the painting of her with a cigarette, is Joni Mitchell, the artist too, because so many of her album covers are her own artworks. Yeah. And there's a fourth song that is in Open.
Yeah, well, there's five, but the last two are both from Song of a Seagull. One is Cactus Tree, which we didn't do, and the other is Night in the City.
So what was there about Night in the City that made you really want to play it?
I
dare you to say the open D tuning.
The open D tuning, yeah, I was going, it was such a pain to learn some of them at first because you're having to retune the guitar every time. So if you pick a tuning that has a bunch, you might as well do them all.
May I make a quick observation? There is a camera fixed on you.
I was looking at that one.
Oh, you were looking at that one? I thought you were looking at
that one. So, yeah, the open D made it easy to learn. And also, I had never listened to Song to a Seagull, any songs from there. I started with Blue. And Clouds I hadn't listened to either. I'd only listened to Both Sides Now. But a friend of mine saw Joni Mitchell live, actually, and is really loved her music. And not only did they love Song to a Seagull and had that been like one of the first albums they had, but their favorite song was Night in the City. And when it was open D, I was like, I'll learn that one.
So it was kind of a gift to your friend to play that song?
No, they just inspired me to listen to that album and that song.
Did you play them?
I have, yeah.
Yeah. What did they think about that?
They liked it.
Yeah. Yeah. What did they think about your performance?
They liked it.
Any specifics? No. Did you want to give a shout out?
Yeah,
to that person?
We could just roll the clip.
Let's just roll the clip because we don't want to. We want to keep that person's identity anonymous. Clip.
Wait, you have to edit that out.
Well, there's no editing. It's supposed to be live. Okay, so what did you think about that?
Oh, that was a fun one to play.
Yeah, nice. It was a fun one to listen to, too.
Emily.
The cat, again, is chewing at the cords, so we apologize for
If we do this, we can get the last one in.
How many more songs? Well, there's only one song left?
No, there's two. Okay.
2 songs left. Okay. is one
Yeah.
Okay. So what's the penultimate song that we're going to talk about? Penultimate, one of my favorite words.
We're going to talk about Hunter, which was also released with this Blue 50 in the 50th anniversary of Blue.
And
when I heard Hunter from the 50th anniversary of Blue, I really loved it, and I wanted to learn it, and so I did. And then in this second version of the archives, a lot of them have introductions to the songs that from when she's played them live, and so she had an introduction to Hunter, and I had no idea that it was written about a cat. So that's funny because
as if Emily knew. And
so Hunter
on cue.
was written about a stray cat actually that came to her door, and she was like, "Yep, got a song for this," and so yeah.
Nice. Hey, let's
roll
that clip. Wow. Nice job.
Thanks.
Really well done. Emily, you maybe one day you'll inspire a song. Have you ever written any songs on your own?
Yeah, but not about my cats.
Huh. Now why not?
I don't know, they haven't done anything to inspire me yet.
Emily. I think maybe we should have a song about Emily chewing cords.
Yeah, but one day. No,
or vomiting on the floor and my stepping in it.
True.
Yeah.
That might have been Louisa.
Yes, I was going to say, let's not disrespect your second cat. Let's tell everybody the name of your second cat.
Louisa Meowcott.
Little women, those little women.
Anyway.
Okay, so that brings us to the final performance that we're going to roll, which, interestingly enough, in a bookends kind of way, Simon and Garfunkel, is the song we started with.
Exactly.
All I Want. So
yeah,
talk
so
to me about...
when Joni Mitchell released this Blue 50, there was like a version of California with different instrumentation, and there was Hunter that had never been released, and there was like the beginning version of Urge for Going, and then there was A Case of You with different lyrics, because it was like the first iteration of the song that she had at least prepared to play for people. And so I was thinking we could play that because I love A Case of You, but then I was like, people know that one because it's on this Blue 50. And so on YouTube, I found this version during this live concert of her playing the first ever live version of All I Want. And she actually, it was unfinished. So she has a lot of like do's and stuff where she doesn't know what the lyrics are going to be. But yet she still gets like a standing ovation because she's Joni Mitchell. So I thought that that'd be an interesting one to end with because people maybe haven't heard of it or seen it. And I really like particularly that middle verse or the chorus, whatever you want to call it, where in the version on the album she says, all I really, really want our love to do is to bring out the best in me and in you. But in the original version she says, all I really, really wanted love to do was to bring out the best in me and in you. And I think it's just like so much more haunting in that past tense.
And it's interesting too that in that first iteration of the lyric, it doesn't seem to be tied to any specific person, right? It's
Right.
This is what I wanted love to
Right,
be.
yeah, and she says like
But then it's our love in the.
Yeah, and she says like I'm on a lonely road and I'm traveling looking for the truth in men and in me. So it doesn't seem, like you said, tied to any person.
Yeah. Well, let's roll that final one. Wow, what a great experience this was for me. I don't know how you felt about it. Now would be a good opportunity.
Great to play them. It was fun.
How about interacting on.
That was also fun.
Fun. Not as fun as playing them.
No.
No. And it's probably not as fun to experience this right now compared to. That's why we intersperse the songs in between this kind of meaningless banter that we're engaging in right now. So again, I would just like to thank you for coming home to visit your mother and me and
Mikado. No, we're editing that out.
Are we?
Yeah.
Makoto.
No, we're not. Mikado doesn't want that there.
No, she doesn't want that.
My family, my entire family.
It was nice of you to come home and visit your entire family for Thanksgiving. And is lovely to host you. And I really want to thank you for helping me to
Don't breathe on me in a pandemic.
To breathe on you in a pandemic, helping me to come up with some product for this assignment that I have in this class I'm doing. And so the idea of producing a live stream, just kind of having...
Then you probably shouldn't say Thanksgiving. It's a live stream.
Well,
anyway,
but,
no, just kidding.
But a live stream is still captured in time,
Exactly.
right? Yeah, so although it's going to be edited, I think my idea is that I wanted to treat this as if it were just a live interaction and not do a lot of editing. We will edit out that one story that I told about.
We don't have that much time left.
But I do appreciate your willingness to just engage off the cuff and kick off the very first video episode of the Recovering English Teacher.
No
So
problem.
once again, my name is Clement. I'm your Recovering English Teacher, and this is my daughter, Angelina, aka None of Your Business, whatever other names she goes by. And until next time, we're going to wish you peace. Do you have any wishes for the viewing audience? No, she doesn't give a shit about you. But I do. Don't forget that. Wait, how about for the...
No, we're gonna.
Oh, wait. Heart to heart. Oh, gosh. Okay.
My heart's over there.
my Adam's apples are deep throat. Okay, so now we'll just turn... Oh, I forgot to turn the audio on.
Are you serious?
No. So that's off.
Whoops. That's not how it goes. How does it end? Maybe it's meant to. Okay. Fuck. Go to the Mermaid Cafe, have fun tonight.
Give me 10.
Oh, you're a mean old daddy.
Fuck.
We just come from 6 different sets of circumstance. I'm up all night in the studio. Interrupt.
Fuck.
And you're up. Fuck.
Okay.
This one is going to be way off now. Ooh, that's not so warm. Nice. Okay, hit it. I'm ready. Are you? I'm ready. Are you?
Yep.
I'm ready. How about you?
Yep.
Okay.
This one can be a little rough at the beginning, so we might have to start again.
Okay.
When I'll be damned, here comes your ghost again. But that's not unusual. It's just that the moon
nice. We can use that. I can ask you what you thought of me as a teacher, and then you could